Well, it's Lover's Day. Yes, that's apparently a real holiday, at least as real as Valentine's Day. So I thought I'd finally do my shipping video. I had a lot of trouble making this video. My first stumbling block was that I wasn't sure if some of the couples I was thinking of were considered official couples or just fan-made ships. Another problem I had was trying to decide whether this video should be about the top 10 most popular ships in all of Transformers fandom in general, or if it should just be my own personal top 10. And finally, my last major hurdle was that I didn't know how to rank all these pairings in a way that made sense. So, to solve all these problems, I decided to just give up and not do the video. So, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. I'm just kidding. So, for real this time, I decided to fix all these problems by not making this video a top 10. That way, I don't have to rank them. After all love is unique and special. No one is better than the other. Instead, I'm simply going to go through every Transformers series that I can think of, and then say which couples I like best out of all of them, whether real or imaginary. So sorry if you were hoping to hear what my favorite ships ever were, but who knows, maybe I'll revisit that idea for next Valentine's Day or something like that. So let's start things off with G1. There's obviously a lot of couples in G1, both actual ones in the show and unofficial pairings dreamt up by fans. As far as official couples go, I'd have to go back to my previous video and say that Optimus Prime and Elita 1 are my favorite official couple. Simply for the reason that they are the ones with the most development in the series. Not only do we get to see them in the search for Alpha Trion, but then we get even more backstory of them as Orion Pax and Ariel in War Dawn. I do really like Sea Spray and Alana as well, and I was really tempted to say either RC and Hot Rod, or RC and Springer, or even RC and Chrome Dome if we're counting Headmasters, just because I love RC, and I especially really like this little scene from Transformers the movie. Seriously, I want to eventually commission an artist to redraw this screenshot, but with my OC in place of Hot Rod, and maybe I'll keep the other bot as RC or change her out for someone else. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, as far as official couples go, I'd have to say Optimus and Elita. Now, for unofficial pairings, obviously I always enjoy seeing Starscream and Megatron put into somewhat suggestive situations. So, yeah, why even dance around it? Yes, as boring and cliche as it may be, Megatron and Starscream would have to be my favorite ship in G1. Simply, again, because there are so many little hints and clues in the series. They definitely seem to have a love-hate relationship, which is just very Decepticon. Next up is Beast Wars, because it's been a while since I've seen the Takara trilogy, and there isn't much ship material in that series from what I remember. Other than that one scene where Rodimus goes off to have gay sex, find a new home planet with Cup and Blur, and he tells RC to stay behind because she's a girl. Yeah, we definitely know why you didn't want RC around Hot Rod, and it's not to look after Daniel and Wheelie. So in Beast Wars, again, official couples-wise, I'd have to go with my previous video and say Black Arachnia and Silverbolt. I love Tigatron and Airazor too, but let's face it, the Spider Lady and Bird Dog got a lot more screen time, more kissy-kissy, and more innuendo.
Yeah, scouting the enemy, yeah. Find any new positions?
Unofficial pairings, though, it's kind of few and far between because there are so few cast members on the show. The way I see it, it's basically between either Dinobot and Rat Trap, or Megatron and Inferno. Somebody in the comments once told me that playing with another bot's kibble is a Cybertronian form of flirting. So yeah, I guess that checks out. Then again, there was the whole thing of Inferno always calling Megatron his queen, which, obviously some deliciously queer connotations there. It's a tough call, but I think what breaks the tie for me is Dark Glass. For those who don't know, there was an unproduced episode of Beast Wars called Dark Glass, in which Rat Trap tries to use the backup copy of Dinobot's core consciousness, which we did see Dinobot make in the episode Bad Spark, by uploading it into the new Dinobot in an effort to bring back the real Dinobot. I think the lengths Rat Trap goes, or would have gone to try and bring back his lost friend, says that they were more than just friends who fought all the time. For the next series, we're skipping past Beast Machines because, again, there were so few characters, and, well, those who were in relationships, you already know my thoughts on them. And there really wasn't much room for ships in that series. Although, I can kind of see Optimus and Cheetor. You know what, let's move on to Robots in Disguise. Again, it's been a while since I've watched all of the original RID, so I'll just touch on Sideburn and his love for little red sports cars. Which, now that I think about it, kind of reminds me of that TLC show, Strange Addiction, which is obviously about someone's strange addictions, including a guy who's in love with his car.
But he didn't find true love until he met Chase.
Wait, he named his car Chase? Like the rescue bot? Oh no, this is getting too weird for me. Moving on. All I wanted to point out was that Sideburn eventually becomes a little red sports car himself. And you can read into that what you will. Okay, moving on to Armada. This is a series with basically no female Transformers, other than maybe the odd minicon here or there. So instead, the closest thing we had to a couple was Starscream and Alexis. Which, yeah, I can definitely see that. Although I do think there is a little something to the old Megatron and Starscream duo.
Come and get a taste of my blade.
But yeah, I think I'd have to agree with the fandom and say that Starscream and Alexis is the cuter ship. How that would work physically, however, is another question. Energon? Kicker and RC? Seriously, I don't remember much about Energon, but I do remember that Kicker was always riding RC. Read into that what you will. Although there was that whole thing of Mirage being in love with Megatron. So there is that too. Cybertron, another simple one, Hotshot and Override. Whether you were more of a Nitro Convoy person or not, I think there's something cute about these two racing rivals being a couple. The new guy having to prove himself to the current chap, it definitely makes for an interesting pairing. Animated. Now, this is one that I totally missed in my Valentine's Day video. I thought maybe it was because Ratchet and RC didn't get enough screen time together as I would have liked. But come on, they are definitely my favorite couple in animated, whether official or not. Just the fact that RC is a teacher ranks her very highly in my book. Now, if you're looking for more of a ship, I definitely think that Optimus, Sentinel, and Alita had some kind of triad or polyamorous thing going on between them. And Prowl I can definitely see paired up with someone, whether it's him and Bumblebee, him and Jazz, or him and Lockdown. But yeah, official or not, my favorite animated couple would have to be Ratchet and RC. Prime? Again, if you've seen my Predatory review, I totally think RC and Arachnid could be a ship. Sort of. Maybe not a two-way ship. More of a yandere type of situation, where Arachnid keeps going after RC's partners because she secretly wants to be with RC, but of course she's this sick and evil character, so she only knows how to kill, not to love. Other than that, we've got Bulkhead and Wheeljack, Megatron and Starscream, Knockout and Breakdown, but I think the one that's caught my eye recently is Starscream and Knockout, which, if you haven't watched my latest Transformers Prime review, you should check that out. But yeah, I'll have to watch more Transformers Prime to see, but it'll definitely be interesting to see if we get more for that pairing in the future. Next, we have Rescue Bots. Again, I've only watched through Season 1, but so far I'm loving Blades and Chase. So I would definitely love to see these two boys in a pairing. But yeah, I think I need to see more. I can't give a definitive answer yet. Cyberverse was another one that tripped me up, while at the same time there was a lot of room for fan pairings. For one thing, I'd like to think that Bumblebee and Windblade are a couple. They're obviously very good friends, but I hope that they're more than that. And like I said in my latest subscriber video, Hot Rod and Clobber, Grimlock and RC, and Alpha Strike and Skywarp all make for super cute couples. I also think that there's a lot of room for even more couples. Obviously, there's everyone's favorite, Astro Train and Dead End. Which, yeah, I can totally see that. But I think the Seekers have a lot of possibilities. Specifically, I think Slipstream and Thundercracker would definitely have some sort of Michael and Jan from The Office type of relationship where she bullies him and uses him for, you know, stress relief when they end up getting beaten by Bumblebee and Windblade. The War for Cybertron trilogy I only bring up because, again, I think Red Alert and Jetfire would make a super cute couple. I hope they get brought back somehow in Kingdom, which I suspect will have lots of time travel and stuff like that in it, but I could be wrong. And finally, the one you've probably all been waiting for, it's Rescue Bots Academy. Now, I was seriously tempted to just say Brushfire and Whirl, because, come on, let's face it, they look super cute together. And again, that whole playing with someone's kibble thing. But I think the most canonical pairing would have to be Whirl and Hotshot. Whirl was the first recruit that Hotshot met. They're the two recruits who probably have the most screen time, both individually and together, and honestly, I think they are the two with the strongest hints that they could end up being together. I mean, just look at the last 2 episodes of the series, and how, instead of going to the party with the other recruits, Whirl stayed behind with Hotshot to help him with his sculpture. I think the initial reason why she stayed behind was because she didn't want to just dance at the party, she wanted to dance with Hotshot. Who knows? Maybe if it wasn't for the whole emergency situation that they soon found themselves in, this might have been the opportunity that Whirl was waiting for to tell Hotshot how she really felt about him. And before we close out, I would like to touch on IDW for a little bit. Again, I haven't read through much of the recent IDW comics, and by recent I mean from like the last 5 years or so, but even though I know next to nothing about them, I think my favorite couple would have to be Anode and Log. And I think you can guess why. So yeah, this is my highly anticipated shipping video. It may not be the one I originally planned, but hey, it's my channel, I make up my own rules. And again, it always leaves the door open to do a more definitive top 10 ships in the future. Hopefully by that time, I'll have watched or rewatched some of the series I'm currently reviewing. And maybe I'll even have read more of the IDW comics. And then I'll be in a better position to give a proper top 10. But I hope you still enjoyed this video. And remember to not take these things too seriously, okay? The last thing I want to see is people arguing over ships in the comments. Let's just have fun, alright? So, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here soon for more fun Transformers videos.